Firstly, thank you very much for joining my course. And before we get started with the course content, obviously I would like to introduce what you're going to learn, but also who am I and why I'm qualified to teach you this. Well, my name is Andy Williams, and you can see me there in the Black Country Museum in the West Midlands in the UK, having a sneaky pint in the pub there. But most of my time is not spent in the pub, it's spent at the computer. And if we go back to my roots, I'm basically a science teacher. I taught science in the UK before moving out to Spain and taught science up to university level in schools in Spain. Since 2002, I've actually been earning a living online. Much of that actually has been teaching, but I started out really with my easyseonews.com website. That website hasn't been going since 2002, but I did have a previous website which then became easyseonews.com. And on that site, I've been teaching SEO. And you can see there my very first newsletter published on the 15th of October 2003. In 2004, I started using WordPress, and I used WordPress to build profitable affiliate sites. And then more recently than that, I have written a number of books on SEO, WordPress, writing content and that sort of thing. And I've got a number of reviews here from Amazon which refer to some of my books, really to give you an idea of what sort of person I am, because I'm not the sort of person who just rehashes information. I go out there, I do individual, unique research and come back and publish my results to my newsletter subscribers. So this review here, although there's a few problems with the English in it, basically is saying just that. Dr. Andy was talking about semantic SEO in times when every other guru was stuffing keywords and auto-building links. And then he says that since Panda and Penguin and all those other Google algorithm updates have come, my SEO, my LSI, or the semantic SEO that I'm going to be teaching you in this course, still remains. Here's another review where the reviewer has been following Dr. Andy for many years now, and he is always ahead of the curve. Here's a couple more reviews. The top one: forget all the mumbo jumbo about how to outwit Google in the search engine ranking game with all those fancy tools, etc. You might just possibly get away with some trickery and thin sites for a little while, but the big G will catch up with you, probably sooner rather than later. And that thin sites is a reference to a term that I use, which you'll see later in this introduction. And the term that I use is fat, and you'll see why later. The bottom review: excellent book that is bang up to date when it comes to creating content that might actually get you ranking in the search engines. This is not theory, but actual research that has led to the creation of this book. As I said, I actually go out, do experiments, gather the results and analyse them, and then come back and report the results to my newsletter subscribers. The interesting part of this review is the last two sentences. Andy has been a lone beacon in preaching theming, a method which permits the creation of web content that is subject natural and not spammy. Even other current authors writing about content creation miss this very important point. And I'll finish off with one final review. I have followed Andy's work for years, and believe me, he has always pointed his followers in the right direction, well ahead of self-professed gurus. So what are all these reviews getting at? Well, since 2012, everyone thinks in terms of theme when creating online content. It doesn't matter who you listen to, they all talk about writing content that is well themed, that has a number of related theme words and phrases on the page. But it wasn't always this way. This is only since 2012. Before 2012, people were still stuffing keywords into pages and spamming backlinks to a page to try and get pages ranked. And they did it because it worked, but the writing was on the wall because Google was on the warpath. I began looking at other ways of creating content back in 2004, and I first talked about theming a web page in a newsletter on the 31st of January 2004. If you want to have a look, it's still online. It's newsletter number 20. But let's be clear here, that was January 2004, 8 years before theming became mainstream in SEO. I was on a win-win situation. Not only was my content better and it converted really well, but it ranked well too. The problem for most people was it took too much effort. I mean, if you can create a web page in 5 minutes, put lots of spammy links to it and get it to rank number 1 in Google overnight, why would you spend hours creating a piece of content? Well, long term, my approach has shown to win out, because today you're not going to see that spammy content anymore. What you will see is the cream has risen to the top, and now theming is mainstream SEO. But just going back a little bit, in August 2005 I first talked about fat affiliate sites in my newsletter. Fat affiliate sites were affiliate sites that were different to the type most people were making at the time. In fact, Google coined a term thin affiliate sites to talk about affiliate sites that didn't offer any extra value. There might be affiliate sites with reviews, but the reviews didn't really have any unique content. It was just content straight from Amazon or rewritten from Amazon or the manufacturer's site. There was nothing that wasn't already available on Amazon or the merchant site. In 2006, in June, I released a free course to my subscribers called Creating Fat Affiliate Sites. And again, this was about creating affiliate sites that added extra value and themed the content. In 2007, I released some crude software to help create theme content, and I updated my Creating Fat affiliate site and turned it into the Creating Fat content course. So the Creating Fat content course was a complete course on creating well-themed content using this crude software. In January 2010, I rewrote the software from the ground up and turned it into Web Content Studio. That's been available now for over 5 years, and is an all-in-one solution that many professional writers rely on for creating web content that has a chance of ranking in Google. So this course, what's it going to teach you? Well, I'm going to start at the very beginning and I'm going to show you how content used to be written. You'll see why Google had to clear things up, and you'll learn what Google wants and how to give it to them. I'm going to give you 6 great ways to find content ideas for your site. That means you're never going to be stuck for ideas again. You want to add content to your site? Use one of these ideas. 1 or 2 in particular are brilliant for finding ideas for content that's going to get your visitors really excited. I'm going to give you an overview of the different types of content you can create and why you should be thinking in terms of link bait, or as I like to call it, share bait, when you're creating content, because link bait or share bait is what's going to make your site successful. We're going to talk about niche vocabulary. This is a term that I coined a few years back when I was writing an article for another website, and to me it's the secret to Google taking notice of your content and giving it a chance to rank well. We're going to have a look at the SEO that you need to think about as you create your web pages, and I'm going to go through step by step. As you create a web page, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do for title and description and so on. And all of the important aspects of the page we're going to go through and putting it all together. And I'm going to show you a piece of content that I've written specifically for this course, showing you all of the things that we've learned in the course. By the end of this course, you are going to be well ahead of the curve. You're going to know how to create great content that Google loves. But more importantly, your visitors are going to love it too. And if they love it, they're going to link to it or they're going to share it. And that's going to only make your site better. It's going to make your site more popular. It's going to bring more visitors to your site, and you're going to become more successful as a result. So let's get started with the course.